bikes are making those sounds.
Yeah.
If you know you are an enthusiast like us, yes, that's the sound of CI engines, which is no longer amongst the biking right now. So welcome guys to Motor Maniacs. Today we'll be discussing, it will be a raw video discussing about the transformation of Royal Enfield from CI to UCE to J and on twins.
Yes. Further on to the twins.
My name is Prateek.
I am Akshay.
So let's start the video. So about the CI engines, I believe they are the engines that has been into the production for a very long time, right?
Very, very long time.
Around 60 years, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. So
And
we
they were
started
basically
in India.
yeah,
in,
they
in
were
1950s.
Correct, and they were the longest, one of the longest running engines we had in the history of motoring
Absolutely.
world, right?
Absolutely.
And if I'm not wrong mistaken, they were discontinued in 2010 to between 2012, right?
Yes. So
Because
it got
it's-
discontinued in 2010 due to a lot of, reasons of emission norms and reliability, and the engine design was from the 50s, and the competition has caught up with Royal Enfield, so they had to make a change.
But Indian design, isn't it nostalgic, right?
Yes, it
we
is.
need that Indian design. correct?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. No.
But
doubt
again,
about
if you talk about the ICs, one of the ICs engine, I had the opportunity to own them, and that engine was basically a cast iron engine,
Yes.
and it was heavy. It wasn't that reliable, but again, the mechanical clunk to shifting of gears was something that gave satisfaction while riding.
it. Yes.
So if I see anyone riding Bullet, and during that time in my childhood, yes, he is definitely a rider. He's definitely a macho man. That was the image. That was
that
the
was
Bullet,
the
right?
image, absolutely.
Pulsars, Charismas, they came in a very later stage.
They came at a later stage. It was a very, it's a, I don't have any reason to not say this, that it is a legendary engine. There's
Correct,
no
correct.
doubt about it.
Correct.
Reason being that it served our Indian army from day one, and it came to India because it had to serve in the army. So the Indian army was looking for bikes that they wanted to use on the Pakistan border, and they wanted something reliable. They wanted something that was easy to fix. That is another thing.
Something Indian made, right?
Absolutely,
Correct.
absolutely easy to
Patriotism.
fix.
Exactly.
The simplicity of the engine worked in their favor because it was so
during
easy
that
to
time,
fix.
the engine, like the gears, box, as well as the brake lever were in the opposite directions, unlike
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
And the gear was like one up and three down. So they had been in different models now. After once they started with the Bullet, they introduced it into Machismo, as well as they introduced in Lightning. That was very rare bike, Lightning. I
Very
must
rare.
mention that that's again
Very
a part
rare.
of CI engine, right? As well as the Electra, which I own 2003 model.
Yep.
So
This is another quality, I think, Pratik. You being a CI owner, I can
Correct,
ask you
correct,
this.
correct.
They used to say that you can pull from 20 kilometers per hour in fourth gear.
Exactly.
The sort of torque that engine had.
That's true. That's true. The torque was eminent. It was massive torque in the low end. So yes, you could pull from that lower speed. But again, the reliability was an issue that time, and the quality was an issue. You can't. You basically, when you go for a longer ride on a CI engine, you never know when the engine breaks down. You need
Yep.
to carry some basic tools, and you need to have some basic knowledge. But again, if I talk about the positive part about that yes, that grows a relationship between a biker and its bike. You get to know your bike more better. But this cast iron engine also gave trouble to the Royal Enfield, because many people reported the starting of the bike. It requires basically a basic knowledge, or I would say a technique to start the bike.
Yes.
And they need to build the pressure, and many of the people reported leg or knee injuries due to that.
You have to feel the bike, as
Correct,
they say,
correct.
that you have to know what's going on with the piston, where the piston is, when you have to kick it, where the pressure is. It's a relationship that you
Correct.
build
That's a
with the bike.
nostalgia. It gave a macho feeling. The mechanical clunk, that the sound it gives by shifting the bike, it's irreplaceable. You have to basically have that feeling, or I would say knowledge to how to ride that bike.
I feel it was a eventful experience.
Correct. I would say you need to experience that, right? Okay. Then let's talk about what basically the CI engine. It's basically the same thing that steam engines are in India, right?
Yes.
Running, like last steam engines decommissioned in 2018, and can
I mean,
say
it
that.
rode like a locomotive, isn't it?
Correct,
So it's just, it
correct.
was chugging along with that long
Exactly,
stroke. With the long
exactly.
stroke, it used to chug along with a lot of torque and easy to fix, and you had to keep it in top nick to have
But
it running
again,
well.
yes, Royal Enfield had to shift to UC engines from CI. Reason being the emission norms, the advancement in technology. So UC engine, I would say, breathed a new life in Royal Enfield.
Yes.
That saved Royal Enfield because Royal Enfield was about in a closure. It was in a closure to bring, right? So UC engine added a convenience because it had 5 speed gears, like unlike other motorcycles. I would say one down and four up, like any other motorcycle in India during that time,
Yeah.
when the dominance of Pulsars, Charismas came. So
Yes.
UC engine, it had to be introduced in India
Yes.
for the convenience.
I mean, Royal Enfield, I think they realized that while they were keeping the purist very happy, while keeping the CI alive, but they were rejecting the whole world to the Royal Enfield experience.
Correct. They had to be in the masses. When you
Yes.
have to grow as a company, you have to serve the masses. So that's the reason UC was introduced. It was more reliable. Gone was the cast iron, aluminium body was used,
Yes.
aluminium engine, and it was lighter, more reliable, better performance.
Hydraulic tappets.
Exactly,
Yes.
hydraulic tappets. Yes, and the convenience of the right gear shifter as well as
Yes.
the brake pedal.
EFI, I think.
In only Classic 500 that time, not in the 350.
Yes.
And once the Classic 500 was discontinued, yes, they introduced that in 350 as well.
Yes.
Post that. So I would say the UEC engine gave a fresh. They basically gave new life to Royal Enfield.
No
The
doubt about
showrooms
it.
were upgraded. The accessories were upgraded. The customer dealing whole experience was upgraded.
It's a completely different engine. I
Correct.
mean, if you look at both of the engines, I mean they are trying to make it look alike, but it's completely different. I mean, the
Exactly.
aluminium block, the hydraulic tappets, the reliability has has improved a lot. I mean, me being a UC owner, it's a very different experience. I mean,
And
you still have to put an effort. I mean, it's still an eventful experience, but I feel that where they were successful was they kept that nostalgic feel. They kept
exactly.
that let's say analog
The
feel,
styling,
the
the
styling
old school styling is
and
still intact.
the analog feel, but they introduced a bit of convenience to it, so
Exactly.
that you can have the best of both worlds. You want that nostalgic feel, but you don't want the bike to break down. You
Correct,
don't
correct.
want to be putting a lot of time and spending
Exactly.
a lot of time with your mechanic.
Exactly. I would say because I also owned a UC engine for a very brief time, like 4 years. I had a classic 350 gunmetal gray, I believe, yes, with a rear disc brake. So I used that for 4.5 years and rode it around 60,000 kilometers to different places in Himachal and Uttarakhand. And it never gave me really a trouble. It was a good and reliable engine.
Yes.
And that basically added more convenience to people, right? It
Yep.
catered or it opened took to new mass market college going students the introduction of classic 350 in different color schemes, the
Yes.
Thunderbird X with the alloy wheels. That was a basic needed for many of the people, right? They weren't into the Royal Enfield nostalgia or charm. They was just need a big motorcycle to ride. For them was classic, I would say, the Thunderbird X, which had the advantage of alloy wheels, that
Yep.
is tubeless tires, because no don't want to be you don't want to be standard in on a highway or a state road with a puncture on your bullet motorcycle, right? It's a very tedious task.
Yeah.
So they also introduced the self start for again more added advantage. Now
Absolutely.
it basically catered all the various markets, and when the emission norms got tighter, and it also had a long waiting period. I still remember I had to wait for 5 months for my motorcycle.
No, it's a long waiting period.
Correct,
I mean,
correct.
I feel people were waiting for this. I mean,
Yes.
to have something, people are they are still buying the new Royal Enfield because
Yes.
they love the old Royal Enfield, but they want the convenience, they want the reliability that these new machines offer.
I believe Royal Enfield learned quickly from its competition. They are basically not selling a culture. They're not just selling a bike,
Yeah.
right? They're selling a culture. They organize the rides and they have odysseys. They also have Rider Mania.
Yeah.
That's once in it, once in
One of the
1 year.
biggest riding
Goa.
events that we have in India.
Correct. Of all the Royal Enfield owners.
Yep.
So that's something that they learned from the competition and giving customer very beautiful experience about the accessories, and they have a lot of accessories. I've even seen many superbike owners going
Yeah,
to Royal Enfield
coming
for the
on to Royal
accessories,
Enfield
exactly,
showrooms,
because
I
of the
mean,
quality they are offering, right?
the
And
quality
then
is top notch, no
exactly
doubt
when
about
there
it.
was more need, yes, they completely shifted to J platform.
Yes.
Those engines are very beautiful, very calm. All the vibrations are gone. That's a very smooth engine, J platform, right?
Yeah.
And this one, the twins 650 twins, was the biggest blockbuster. This is what the Indians, or I would say people in all around the world, needed, right? Reliable, uh, very cheap to own and cheap to maintain. I won't be using the word cheap. It's basically on a budget, right? You're getting just the right amount of power.
Yeah.
And now you can see this engine in 3 different guises, right?
Absolutely. A video on that coming as well.
Correct.
Very soon.
Correct.
I mean,
And
I feel it's a testament to the understanding of the
Exactly.
company, of their owners. You see,
Exactly.
in 2009, where they had a massive demand for the Classic 500 and the Classic 350, the new UCEs, they had to
Set up a new
set
factory.
up a new factory, a completely new factory,
So I
just to
would,
meet the demand.
yes.
And back then,
Mhm.
the waiting period was at least 9 to 10 months.
Depending, yes,
And
exactly.
people used to wait 9 to 10 months. It was not like, we're not going to
So
wait
you
that
can
long. It's not. It's
imagine the craze
unreasonable.
for Royal Enfields during that era,
Ah,
right?
I
And when
mean,
this engine was introduced, like this in one, the 650, it was butter smooth.
Yep.
They had a very bad experience with Himalayan. Then they basically did R&D in UK on this engine,
Yep.
the 650 twin, right?
Yes.
And they launched in European, US, and Australian market before launching into India. And it's a history now.
And
right?
it was
These
by
engines-
ex-Triumph owners, isn't it?
Exactly.
And you feel it when you ride it.
And the SNS, the biggest big company, they
Yeah.
used to make accessories for Triumph. Now they started making for
Royal Enfield.
because it's a mass market product. It's cheaper than the big bikes, and it still gives you a feeling of big bike. It goes to a decent speeds. It has good braking. What else you wants a rider wants? It doesn't have a crazy electronics like super bikes or any.
Yeah.
But again, who wants that?
You
The
don't.
nostalgia we
You
need,
don't need
just
it
the
on
ABS.
Indian
That's
roads.
that's it has, and
Yes.
rest we need power, and it's all raw nature that it has. We'll surely make a video on this.
Yeah,
my
sure,
friend.
sure.
Okay, and for you guys, guess the bike in the comment section. I believe most of you won't be able to. If you do, yes, we will make a video on that bike as well.
Very
That's
soon.
a highly modified bike. We won't be telling the name. Just guess the bike in the comment section. So that was it on the small intro, I would say.
Yes.
That is a raw footage from our end, the discussion. We'll be coming up with more reviews
Very soon.
and share our experiences. And this is the Moto Maniac channel, and this is not limited to bikes. We will be also coming up future with cars reviews, right?
Very
Like
soon.
we
Very
are
soon.
tall people, so we can review car also according
Yeah.
to his seats, right? He's 6'4", I'm 6'2", so it will
Right.
help you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So do subscribe, do hit the like button and share it with your friends. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching.